Hello, welcome to my video. Welcome back if you are returning. Thank you for being here, and big love to everybody that's sharing my work, sharing my channel, everybody on Instagram. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and it is really the love is felt. It's overwhelming, so thank you so much. I just wanted to come on and share this video because it's an article. I've put together a video. It's just proving everything that I considered, and I didn't know that there was all research done on it and everything like that, like 200 years ago, about the springs, the natural springs in our country, the minerals, the mineral rich soil and stuff like that. Well, I found a report now where it shows it all, like people were standing against it, and it was all to do with coal. It seems to be mining the coal is what set it all off. So I've come across loads and loads of different articles that line up basically with the same thing. But I just wanted to share this one because it's got it all in one. So it's got all about the sandstone, the limestone, the shale. It's got everything about how the coal's really deep in the earth, like the layers. It's got all about the striation marks, and obviously I still have my own opinion about geology. Obviously, I don't believe everything that's written in the article, or articles about geology, because at the end of the day, you know, we're all trying to find the truth. You know, I'm not just going to believe everything that I read, but I do cross research. I do make sure that everything lines up. And this guy, Edward Powell, he was really a pioneer for making sure that we still had access to the natural mineral springs that was all over our country. And he was taking a stand against the springs being diverted, and so obviously we're losing all the mineral qualities, and obviously with all the coal and everything being mined out the stone as well, he was adamant that, look, we're losing this. And he dates back to a time, I think it's in the 1700s, where it started to deplete then. So I'm really busy at the moment trying to find the earliest account that I can of people looking for minerals, people talking about the natural springs in this country. Like I said, I'm going to start with this country and then branch out, because I've already had loads of things sent to me about other places in the world as well, and it's just like, wow, okay. So I've got a big list that I'm getting down at the moment, and just hold tight. That's all I'm going to say, hold tight. I've been really busy, but I just wanted to share this because it's so important to me. I keep banging on about the natural water, the yin water, the primary water, and how it was everywhere. You know, you had springs everywhere. You think wherever there was people that had access to water, it wasn't like everybody didn't live near the river, you know, and they had systems, proper systems for this water to be, you know, passed out through communities and stuff like that. I've also found old maps where it's showing you rivers, and now you've got Google Earth and the river's not there anymore, it's just fields, you know. So where's that river gone? Is it underneath? Because as I said, you can't stop primary water. It's water that comes from Gaia, Mother Earth. It comes up from the earth. You ain't stopping that. You know, you aren't stopping it. You can divert it, yes, but you ain't stopping it. So it's interesting to me that they was diverting it all here. There are maps are showing it. Maps are proving that there was rivers there that aren't there anymore. And these rivers that I've seen and that I will be showing, they're all close to red sandstone, limestone cliffs, big massive rock faces, you know, that are next to like rivers. And these rivers are long. They're not like tiny little streams. They're connecting through up and down the country. So they worked hard. I'm saying this got up to hundreds and hundreds of years to plan this. So what I would recommend everybody to do is get some dowsing rods and go out and have a little douse and see what you can find around you, if you can find any water. I'm not saying go start digging for water, because you don't know if it's a main water pipe or anything like that. But just have a look and then do some research. See if it is a natural a main water pipe. If it's not, you know, then have a little look into it. because I believe that we're all living on top of these healing streams. I just do. I believe that we are. And also look at the animals. That's another thing. Animals know this. And also tracks. Our ancient ancestors carved out the tracks because they followed the animals. One, hunting, and two, obviously seeing how they got their food and stuff like that, watching the animals, because obviously animals are the most natural thing on this planet. So our ancient ancestors knew that, animals, watching the animals of the earth, and obviously the stars. So it's interesting how all these places and all these waters and these places that I'm going to show in the video, they're all connected to ancient sites. There's all stone circles and everything leading on these routes, you know, ley lines. It's just incredible. And this guy, Edward Powell, I know I'm going a bit flim flam now. This guy, Edward Powell, who wrote this article, he's wrote several articles. I think it was his life's work actually. He wrote a book. I've looked at the book. I haven't read it yet, but I am going to purchase it and I'm going to read it, and then obviously I'll be sharing what I find in it, because this could be what I've been looking for, this book now, because it's going to have everywhere in it. What's happened, what was there before, and it gives me names as well. Like, oh, I've got names now which I've looked on the right. Oh, I can't get my words out, on the LiDAR, and it's shocking. And this is how I've managed to find all this information. So as I say, do your work, cross research everything, cross check everything, cross check maps, people, and like I said in the video, which you'll see, you put in the name Edward Powell, right? Edward Powell, who wrote the article, was a mineral surveyor. You put his name in, and you will find Edward Powells all over the world throughout time with a similar job. It's fascinating. I know I don't believe in coincidences, so, you know, I don't know. This is a thing in the universe that, you know, has been going on, needs to be addressed. Somebody needs to carry the bat now and find out what has gone on. So I wanted to share this video. Hopefully you do some research in your own local area or wherever you feel called, drawn to. And yeah, let me know, please let me know what you think in the comments. And obviously let me know what you find in your area too. It's fascinating. I'm so grateful for everybody commenting on the videos. Thank you for the interaction, for the love, for the shares, for the likes. I'm going to leave it there. The video will be following this. So thank you very much. Take care. This is an article titled Report of the Hitherto Unexplored Mineral District of Radnorshire, dated Wednesday 29th of May 1833, from the Wolverhampton Chronicle and Staffordshire Advertiser. On the subject of discovering coal in the month of June 1832, I particularly inspected this district, commencing at Stanner Rocks, which, with the two hunters, are trap, the latter strongly impregnated with copper. The hill east of the old Radnor Church is trap also, running over limestone, which clearly shows itself on the north, west and eastern sides of the hill, and continues to run to the southwest near a mile before it sinks beneath the surface. This reposes near the eastern kilns on pudding stone and red sandstone, strongly impregnated with globules of copper. The millstone grit and shell rocks meet together on the western side of these lime rocks, and half a mile more west, a strong vein of the black pin ironstone occurs. In a brook on the Pennerland farm, the property of Sir J. Walsh, and still further, the Blind Church clay occurs and runs to the base of the mountains called Radnor Forest, and clearly under them, as the mineral stratification appears on the same level on the opposite side in the Vale of Eadwy and the Llanvereth and Llanvelths rocks, and to the foot of Epint Hill and Llandivac, thence to Llandwyd, Llandafan, Lanier Common to Pentwyn in Nantmel, and from Abbey Crumher crosses to the Llandewy and to the Llandegli, to the whole of which intermediate country contains coal, excepting where the rocks at Llandegli Cumbraith, Bulchi in Betwas, Deserth and Lenelwed rise and protrude through it, which are limestone on their summits, with trap, Gretwake, shale and gritstone on their sides. This being the case, it cannot be doubted as to this country containing coal, as mountain masses of the white ironstone fire clay, clunch or blue clay, with veins of the black pin ironstone occur through the whole country, as well as mineral springs, chalybeate, sulphurous and saline, which could not possibly be or continue unless supplied by mineral damps passing through subterraneous caverns and supplying and impregnating these waters, saline or bitter purging salts being the produce of the effluvia of coal, as well as the sulphurous springs being supplied by the damp or effluvia of sulphurous coal, and the chalybeate waters are impregnated with the effluvia from these beds of ironstone. As proof of this, wherever these waters have been discovered through the whole world, they are always within less distance than 2 miles of a bed of coal, being supplied with the effluvia that pervades all mineral beds, and wherever these vents are subterraneous passages conveying the damp to impregnate the water have been stopped, or their course is changed by excavations. The mineral properties of these waters have entirely ceased, as in 1766 the brine and sulphurous wells both lost their mineral qualities in the parish of Madeley in Shropshire, and continue to discharge only pure water, in consequence of working a thick bed of coals and discharging the effluvia, I'm so sorry, I can't pronounce that word, in another direction. It, therefore, being evident and proved by experience that mineral waters could not exist or possess their component parts without coal and ironstone, as these are always inseparable and they are never found with each other, that there is no doubt of coals in Radnorshire, and as these mineral springs are found at Blaenidwy, Langley and Landrindrod, Bluith, Langramarch, Garth, Taffinprid and Lanrertid, these can be no doubt of finding coals if sunk in for low situations in any part of the district before described, and as these mineral springs are situated in the midst of fire clay, blue clay, ironstone and lime rocks, which are always accompany coals, with these circumstances render it certain. The attempts hitherto made are without judgment, as the coal lies deep, and all the experiments hitherto made have been made by levels in the hills, which hills are the upper and secondary means of the earth, and contains no minerals whatsoever, all the minerals being found in the lower secondary. The hills in Radnorshire and Breconshire, from their summit 1,000 feet, are upper secondary, with the mineral stratification lying under them. At that depth, therefore, the coal is only to be got by pits, 100 yards from the surface, as in Staffordshire and Shropshire. Now that ends that part of the article, but there is another part, but I just want to stop there and just say, wow, like, this is everything that I've been searching for. I was right about the water. Well, I think a lot of people that are researching it have got the same opinion as I have, that they knew that there was mineral, the water was healing all over this country, right? And they knew this, and they redirected it so they could gain from water, and that's been proven. You know, and this guy, fair play to this guy, Edward Powell, he's a mineral surveyor, and I have looked a little bit into him as well. It's quite a little funny. I'm gonna add it on to the end of this video about Edward Powell, because his name, it's really strange. You type in Edward Powell and I guarantee water surveyors come up, mineral surveyors, and this is going back like to the 1800s. So I just find it very, very it's coincidental. Well, I don't believe in coincidences, so. But in this article, he's saying that they have redirected the mineral water, and they knew that this kind of mineral water was only available when there was coal found, limestone, and when it's situated in the midst of fire clays. It says blue clay, ironstone, lime rocks. Again, red sandstone's being mentioned. Now, if you've watched one of my other videos about the springs and the healing waters, you'll notice that I've mentioned Landrindod. Again, I can't say these words. I'm so sorry. I've got no Welsh accent whatsoever. And I did look into that, and it is right. Yeah, there was healing baths there. The whole town is on a spring. So this was, common knowledge 200 years ago, and this article dates back to the sulphurous wells both lost their qualities in 1766. So who knows how long they was plotting this, why the canals was made and stuff like that. So I do believe that found all over this country and probably all over the world, but I'm only looking at this country. The water that was naturally coming up, which was the primary water, which is the Gaia water, which is the Ying water, that was healing. It was healing, and now that's, nobody needed to pay to have water. We was healing from the water. And there's certain spiritual practices that can be done as well with water that can make it magical, so it's not just like you're drinking it and you're healed. There's your intention goes in it as well. It goes hand in hand. So I think that the water was healing on on a, what's the word, like on a layman level. So that's like, if you're not into any kind of spiritual practice and you just know, oh yeah, that what you drink that water from there, it cured my cholera or whatever, whatever diseases was going around then. So that's how it was going around. But then you also, I believe that you had spiritual groups that was going around teaching people how to use the water. And I think that then obviously when the powers that be wanted to make money, that's when they started doing all this. And also saying that the coal is deep proves my thing about why there's so many pits everywhere. Like, they was quarrying the coal, and if you look at all the places that I have looked into, it's always by the water. So this is like, I'm ecstatic with this article, and I found a few others similar as well, about how they rerouted the natural springs and then it lost its mineral qualities. So I just wanted to run over that, and I'm going to be reading the next part of the article now because it's got another title, and it says Mineral Survey, May 1833. Okay, and this is Edward Powell again. It's the same article as I said, but it's just split into two. So the Great Staffordshire and Worcestershire coal basin extends to within 1 mile west of Birmingham, and on leaving that town in a direction south by west to Halesowen, the mineral stratification continues 4 miles to the north of the Turnpike Road, at which distance from Birmingham and the same from Halesowen, it crosses the road towards Northfield, running in the direction of Licky Hill, near Bromsgrove, and continues south by west to the top of Lord Lyttelton's Park at Hadley, towards the obelisk, and afterward runs west by the north to Old Swinford, to near Stourbridge, thence to Brierley Hill. And at the foot of the hill in the village of Hagley, the red sandstone appears and fills the intermediate country from thence to Bewdley, a distance of 8 miles, and extends from Enville to Bromsgrove, a distance of 16 miles. At Bewdley, immediately as you cross the River Severn, the conglomerate rocks, gritstone and shale occur, and within 2 miles of the town, the coal strata continues and extends west to the Mamble, and from Aberley in Worcestershire, and south east to the Clee Hills, Billingsley, Coalbrookdale, Longna, and thence into North Wales. At Rochford near Tenbury, the red sandstone again appears, with the lime rocks to the southeast, thereby showing that some coal may lie on the Hereford side of the line, towards Broadheath, Kyle Common, and Lockleys Heath. At the bridge at Tenbury over the River Tame, the red sandstone crosses the river in a great body, at least 120 yards wide, and does not again occur to the west of the River Howe between Breckonshire, Carmarthenshire, and Cardiganshire, but the limestone is in great mountain masses from the neighbourhood of Tenbury to the Clee Hills, Wigmore, Amerstry, Nash, near Prestine and Old Ragnar, and by this means indisputably proves that the coal strata continues north of the line from Aberlin, Worcestershire to the Clee Hill, from thence to Wigmore, Prestine and the Old Ragnar, where my former report of July 1832 commenced. Coal may be found from the depth of 1 to 400 yards by sinking in the lowest part of the country here described, and there is no doubt of the coal strata reaching in the northern direction till the lime rock again appears, but it is necessary to remark that no coal lies in the hills of Breconshire and Radnorshire, as they are generally of the upper secondary measures. Edward Powell, Mineral Surveyor and Civil Engineer, Birmingham. So I'm going to end that article here, and I don't know if I'm going to share any more in this video because I really want to take a look at these places. I'm going to add some pictures, and I want you to really think about this. Have a look. I'm going to show some maps as well, some old maps where you can clearly see that there was rivers, and like a new Google Earth image where you can see where there's no rivers anymore. It's been covered by fields, so that's proof that they shut off lines and stuff like that. But again, they might have buried them, so they could be running underneath still. And this is why we've got so many mounds and stuff. And again, this is what I've been looking into. It's absolutely fascinating, and to find proof written in black and white, what I've been like thinking about for months now, about this water, about this healing water, it's blew me away. It's absolutely knocked my socks off, because I've got like kind of proof of where to start digging a bit more now. I'm going to look for some more articles about the rerouting of the natural springs. See if anybody else has looked into this, see if anybody else has made some noise about it. And again, as I said about the Edward Powell, please do a Google search and you'll see the kind of jobs that come up. It's similar to the same job that this guy had back in the 1800s. Well, this article's dated 1833, but obviously he was doing work before then. So yeah, you just please let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think I've struck gold? You know, shall I keep digging? Would you like me to do a deep dive into any of these places that I've mentioned? Like I say, I'm going to be sharing pictures whilst I'm talking about these places I've just mentioned, so you can see for yourself the lay of the land, as to speak. And I'm also going to be having a look into the energy lines as well. Me and Paul had a look at this about a place we was looking at before, and it does, I'm sure it was in the caves, and because of all the negative energy that was going on there and all the negative goings on, we had a little look and it was running directly over two major ley lines. So it is always worth looking into because, you know, energy is everything. So, you know, it's fascinating when you do look into it and it's like, oh yeah, wow, yeah, there's two ley lines running over that. So yeah, always do your research, and cross-reference everything. So yeah, I just wanted to share this with you. I was super excited about this. So please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for the love, for the support. I've got so much coming. Honestly, it's like I ain't got the right technology to keep up with all this, but I'm sticking with it. I'm staying positive. So thank you so much. I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Take care.